by Reva University and Greenply.
Ladies and gentlemen, a dangerous plot to carry out attacks in Bihar around the time of the Prime Minister's visit. A plot to train and a plot to radicalize. And a plot to destroy the secular fabric of India that is exposed today. And this comes at a time when Rutgers has said that Hindu phobia, the hate and extreme targeting of the Hindu community is real. Tonight we must decide, will we fight for a secular India or will we bow down to a radicalized cohort that wants to turn into our India into an Islamist nation by 2047? Let's debate.
In Bihar, a terror module crackdown has revealed a shocking plot to make India an Islamist nation.
ये देखिए जो दो लोग गिरफ्तार हुए हैं, जलालुद्दीन और अत्तर परवेज, उनके यहाँ से ये झंडे इस तरीके से काफ़ी मात्रा में मिले हैं, जो संभवतः लग रहा है कि PFI का है.
The police makes a PFI connection.
और रेड करने के बाद दो लोगों को डिटेन किया. मिस्टर जलालुद्दीन जो रिटायर्ड सब इंस्पेक्टर हैं झारखंड पुलिस से, और दूसरे मिस्टर अतहर परवेज जिनका पास्ट बहुत ही कलंकित रहा है. ये सिमी के पहले एक्टिव मेंबर रहे और सिमी के जितने भी एक्टिविस्ट बिहार में हैं उन सबों के ये बेलर रहे हैं.
A shocking 8-page document to destroy the secular fabric of India has emerged.
ये PFI और SDPI का जनरल सेक्रेटरी बन करके यहाँ कॉवर्ट ऑपरेशन करा रहे थे, और कॉवर्ट ऑपरेशन में ये इनके बारे में बताया गया कि किसी एक मस्जिद के ये प्रबंधक कमेटी के मेंबर भी हैं. तो लोगों को रेडिकलाइज करना.
The allegations are serious.
डिटेन करने के बाद उनका इंफॉर्मेशन, मोबाइल से जो इंफॉर्मेशन मिला, उनके पास जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स मिले, उनके पास जो पैम्पलेट्स मिले, वो बहुत ही खतरनाक तरीके से इशारा कर रहे थे.
But the PFI has denied it all.
See, they are alleging that it is linked to PFI. From PFI, I am saying this document does not belong to PFI. If it does not belong to PFI, then someone is fabricating it. 100%.
How can you blame the police, sir, that they are fabricating?
See, they want to target us. For targeting us, they'll fabricate. See, we have seen how the police behaves. To build up a case, the police can do anything. So let the police say, where did Popular Front print that document?
Who were the people who were instigating, and at whose behest these two people were operating in Patna? Meanwhile, 6 arrests have been made in this case, and the police is further investigating into the case.
The developments in Bihar come at a time when Rutgers has revealed Hindu phobia is real.
Hindu phobia is real, and going by a Rutgers report that has just been released, these are some of the findings. I have the findings in my hand. It says there's been a surge in derogatory posts towards the Hindu community. Hindu phobia, it says, the report says, is now exploding across entire web communities. Adding that anti-Hindu memes, hashtags and slogans are growing at a very rapid pace. State actors use Hindu-phobic tropes as part of large-scale info operations, saying that the target decidedly Hindu symbols, practices and livelihoods, and it's all captured as part of a research report now.
So tonight, we are at a crossroads. Will India defend its secularism or leave it to the fate of elements who have a dangerous 2047 plot? Let's debate.
The fact is, this mindset exists, and we can't be in denial about that. So what is this mindset, Atikur Rahman? Can you open the debate with Tuhin Sinha today? What is this mindset which says that India must become an Islamist country by 2047? You know, there are these people who have this mindset, who want sort of a demographic change in the country, a more assertive, quote unquote, they say, a more assertive Muslim population, an Islamist presence in the country, and they say that this can be achieved in 25 years. You know, on the 100th year of independence, they say if we work together, we can achieve that. What is this mindset?
Well, Arnab, it is a moronic idea of turning India into a Islamic state in the presence of the present constitution and the secular ideals of our constitution. No Muslim, I can bet, in India can even have a wild dream of having an Islamic state. We are secular, we are democratic, and we will remain a secular, democratic, socialist state. It's a moronic idea, and as you said in your report, that the PFI has disowned it. If they do not disown it, I am ready to bring them to justice, hang them to death, if they claim that they own this particular document.
But do you think that the PFI, even if it was behind it, would own it up? Do you think, I mean, it's foolish to expect, the PFI, whose name has come out in so many, terror cases, others, to accept it. I'm more concerned about the fact that you're taking them at face value. Tuhin, he seems to be taking the PFI at face value. Who would?
Arnab, this 2047 toolkit is a 800-year-old fantasy of certain radicalized minds. Obviously, the parent organizations have changed at different points of time in history, and if they could not succeed in 800 years, they will not succeed in the next 800 years. But the point is that such radicalized groups get their fodder from the Congress party. In Rajasthan, especially in the two states where the Congress still exists in power, at least in the last 3 months, we have seen a direct patronization of these groups by the state government. First with the hijab rally, the alacrity with which the permission for hijab rally was given in February, and then the bike rally at the Hindu Navvarsh, which resulted in major chaos and rioting. So I think, there is a larger question over here. We need to shun these organizations, and I think Atikur, for the first time, if he calls the idea moronic, at least that could be a good start. A CPM Chief Minister way back in 2010, V. Achyutanandan, had clearly, in a rare moment of honesty, had highlighted that by 2030, PFI had a similar devious plan for Kerala, where they plan to convert Kerala into a Muslim majority state. Even they have not succeeded, but the government is equally cognizant of this threat, and therefore, in the last 8 years, all of these terror activities have been successfully thwarted.
No, I think the point being that there needs to be a very serious investigation into
how are they thwarted, sir? How are they thwarted? May I know?
Why are you not aware of the Patna plot, which was successfully thwarted in the last 8 years? Has there been any significant terror attack barring Jammu and Kashmir? The Unlawful Prevention Act Amendment Bill 2019 was a major move to thwart these activities, because apart from an organization,
so
people like you should condemn these activities more unequivocally.
You demonize the organization, but you do
people
not
like you should not beat around the bush. They should condemn these activities. Like, at least you are making a partial effort today.
If the
several other shows, you have not made that effort. People like you should unequivocally condemn such organizations. You should
reality, sir.
Condemn their devious agenda.
If the PFI has nothing to do with this, 1 minute, Kapil a minute, 1 second. Atik, let's get the others in. If the PFI has nothing to do with it, then why is this document full of references to the PFI? Is the question which emerges. And though I hate to read such hate speech or hate scripts, I will read a little bit from this. Please pay close attention. Tala Amir Rashadi coming into the debate right now with Ratan Sharda. It says, 2047 is not a watershed in history, but it signifies the end of a century of the independent India and the beginning of a new one, pregnant with changes, positive and negative, cataclysmic or otherwise. We dream of a 2047 where the political power has returned to the Muslim community, from whom it was unjustly taken away by the British Raj. We have given ourselves a target of 2047 to bring about an Islamic government in this country. And it says that if we look into the history, Muslims were always in minority, and for victory we do not need to have majority. PFI is confident that if even 10% of the total Muslim population rally behind it, PFI would subjugate the coward majority community to their knees and bring back the glory of Islam in India. What is this? What is this? Now, why are there so many references to PFI at all in the first place? And this is a document that the police is looking into. And of course, they are not going to put their official stamp and signature on it. But should the PFI not answer? What is this? And it goes on to say,
more than PFI, Arnab.
So there are people
Arnab, the government
PFI,
of BJP
SDPI,
and JDU should answer this. First of all, the PFI, I'm not here to represent PFI, so I cannot comment on their behalf. I'm not here to defend them either. But the thing is that if you are talking about the police theory, the SSP of the Patna police also said that the PFI, the people who have been arrested, the PFI men were giving training to their cadre in the same way as the RSS gives the training in their Shakha. So either the PFI is right or the RSS too is wrong. First of all, we need to decide that. If what the RSS is giving as the training in their Shakhas as per the court, and I quote the SSP of the Patna, it's not my quote but the quote of the SSP. So they were giving training in the same way the RSS gives training in their Shakhas. Let me complete, please not interrupt. Let me complete. So either the RSS is wrong or the PFI is right. That is the first point. Now the other thing is that when the people from Bajrang Dal, the people belonging to RSS, the people belonging to Vishnu Hindu Parishad demand openly about a Hindu Rashtra, they dream about Hindu Rashtra, they organize Khap Panchayats and rallies and yatras demanding and Dharam Sansads demanding Hindu Rashtra, the action should be taken. You were asking where is this mindset coming from? This mindset is coming from these such rallies that are being organized by RSS, the Bajrang Dal, the VHPs and all such outfits. Hundreds of outfits that have
I will speak now. I will speak now, Mr. You have said, you had your say.
So the action
These are the kind of people who justify every act of violence, every act of Islamic terrorism. Arnab, can I come in now? He has said enough to see. These are the kind of people who justify, who play cover fire for the terrorist organizations. Let me answer one by one. He compared RSS with PFI. RSS and PFI have very different ideology. Don't look at physical activity. Look at what is the ideology. Ideology of RSS is for Bharat. Ideology. Arnab, I cannot keep asking you. I have to ask him to pipe down now. He has spoken enough. By comparing the physical activity, you are denying the mental makeup of PFI, which is trying to bring in Darul Islam in this country. It is not something new. It is as per your book. So when you say this, that calling for Islamic, Darul Islam is equal to Hindu Rashtra, you are making a huge mistake.
No, I think,
in Darul Islam, other citizens have no place.
No, wait.
And in case of Hindu Rashtra, everybody is saying
there is another aspect. There is, if Mr. Rashadi and Ratan Sharda allow me.
Every terror activity.
No, this sort of toolkit which is going around and which has been reported extensively has certain other aspects which cause great concern.
Radical Islam.
1 minute.
That's the problem with this country.
Yeah.
And that is why people get PFI prosper.
No,
because
the question being,
1/3 land was taken by similar mindset. You want to now demand for more? How is it equal to RSS?
Mr. Bariyar,
As RSS asked for dismemberment of Bharat, you have asked for dismemberment of Bharat. So stop comparing the two. You should be ashamed that you are backing Islamic forces in the name of supporting democracy.
Can I get a minute in? Can I get a minute in? Can I get a minute in? And as I go to, Mr. Sharda, thank you. Mr. Sharda, thank you. Manish Bariyar of the JDU and Kapil Madan, who supports the Congress. Mr. Bariyar, as you realize, this is a very serious case. This is a very serious case, and what is being reported is a plot, a conspiracy of some Islamists allegedly working with the PFI to establish an Islamic state in India by 2047. Now, my question to you is,
Arnab,
that what this is your government, your chief minister, and what is the authenticity of these very, very grave facts which have come to light? You see, the first counter response to this is that this is a work of fiction by the Nitish government.
No. I think if you look at the track record of the Nitish government for last so many years, you will see that it has been quite consistent, and for last 17-18 years of his rule, anything of this sort which comes, the government takes very harsh action, and cutting down emotional aspect of it. Everybody realizes that we have to acknowledge the harsh reality. This is not the first time it has happened, and maybe it would not be the last time, but every time the government has taken a decisive action. And I should say, Arnab, that everybody should accept the fact that Patna police did this before Honorable Prime Minister's visit, and it was nipped in the bud. So we have to acknowledge that, yes, based on intelligence inputs, Patna police has been able to do a good job, barring, I would say, a slip of tongue from SSP for some reason or the other. So, the other gentleman was talking about comparison between two organizations, which I felt that more of a slip of tongue from his side. Having said that, it is important to acknowledge that PFI, the document which I have read, of 8-pager document, is full of things which is anti-national, and this is something not new. It has happened in Telangana, it has happened in many of the states. So we have to acknowledge the problem, that is one. And maybe, the time has come to maybe ban the organization, or maybe take steps which would ensure that these kind of organizations do not really take roots, because right now it is in an inception stage. There are some of the references of 2047, Islamic State and all that. Although I feel that these are too far-fetched, but why to wait for any organization to really prosper?
The question is not whether they are far-fetched. The question is not whether they are far-fetched, Manish. The question is that somebody in India is sitting in 2022 and saying that in 2047 we should have an Islamic state in this country. Obviously, it's far-fetched. It's never going to happen. But the fact that somebody is thinking in that direction. So I have with me the president of the SDPI in Bihar. I have the state president of the SDPI in Bihar, Shamim Akhtar. मेरे को आपको मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है, शमीम जी?
आ रही है।
तो ये आपके लोगों को जो पकड़ा गया है, जो आपके लोग हैं, PFI के लोग हैं, जिनको PFI के साथ संबंध हैं, और जिनसे ये सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स मिले हैं कि PFI 2047 में इस्लामिक स्टेट खड़ा करना चाहती है भारत में, ये आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का नाम हर बार क्यों आता है? और आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन तो इस तरह से जब तक बैन नहीं किया जाएगा, मुझे तो लगता है कोई सोल्यूशन नहीं होगा। और आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और आपके संबंधित ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के जितने लोग हैं, वो जब तक अरेस्ट होके जेल में नहीं होंगे तब तक कुछ होने वाला नहीं है। और वो भी हो ही जाएगा, आई एम श्योर अबाउट इट। बहुत जल्द हो जाएगा, सब लोग अरेस्ट हो जाएंगे। और आपके अगर संबंध है PFI के साथ जो निश्चिंत है, तो आपको भी अरेस्ट करना चाहिए। तो शमीम जी, ये बताइए कि आपके लोगों को जो ये पकड़ा गया है इस कंस्पिरेसी में, इसके बारे में आपको क्या कहना है? मनीष बरियार हमारे साथ है, JDU के प्रवक्ता है, तुहिन सिन्हा है, BJP के प्रवक्ता है। आप अपने डिफेंस में क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको ये क्लियर कर दूं कि आई एम हियर फॉर on behalf of SDPI State President.
वो तो सेम है, SDPI PFI is same. उसके बीच में कोई अंतर नहीं है. There is no difference between SDPI and PFI. You are the political wing of the PFI. You are the same organization. Now please proceed.
Sir, it is your problem. आप क्या समझते हैं ये आपकी समझ
नहीं, मेरी समझ नहीं. आपके PFI के साथ क्या लिंक्स है?
नहीं तो आरजेडी का है क्या? तो क्या आरजेडी का ऑफशूट है क्या SDPI? अगर PFI का नहीं है तो क्या आरजेडी का ऑफशूट है?
No, he is denying it. आप क्या? You should ask him what his links with the PFI are. आपके PFI के साथ लिंक्स क्या हैं?
अर्नब जी,
हाँ बताइए.
अर्नब जी, हमारे लिंक्स PFI के साथ वही हैं जो एक सोशल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इस देश के अंदर संवैधानिक तौर पे दूसरों की मदद करता है, जैसे भीमसेना है, जैसे वामसेफ है, जैसे बहुत सारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जिनको हम समर्थन करते हैं. उसी तरह से हम PFI को भी समर्थन करते हैं. एक चीज मैं बता दूं, यहाँ पे बात हो रही है इस्लामिक कंट्री की. 1947 में जब भारत आजाद हुआ, उससे पहले हिंदू राष्ट्र की घोषणा हुई. आज बंच ऑफ थॉट पढ़ने की जरूरत है, विचारधारा. अगर आप कहेंगे तो मैं कुरियर कर देता हूं आपको और आप सबको. आप पढ़ें. लिटरली, ओपनली, चैलेंजली ये कहा जा रहा है कि देश के अंदर हिंदू राष्ट्र बनेगा विदिन 2025. उस पर बातें नहीं होती है. एक सिंगल एविडेंस बता दें जहां पे किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने कहा हो कि मुस्लिम इस्लामिक कंट्री ये देश बनने जा रहा है. हम रहे ना रहे, भारत में 2047 आएगा और 3047 भी आएगा. ये देश सेकुलर है, सेकुलर था और सेकुलर ही रहेगा. ये सिर्फ ये फैब्रिकेटेड डॉक्यूमेंट दिखा करके कहीं से कोई एविडेंस नहीं है. इंडिया 2047 एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है. वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का एक रोड मैप है जिसमें ये साफ, आप लोगों को पढ़ने की जरूरत है, उसके वेबसाइट पे अपलोड है, आप जाकर देखें. उसके अंदर साफ लिखा हुआ है
एक मिनट देखिए, कहने की बात होती है, करने की बात होती है. शमीम अख्तर, आप SDPI के प्रेसिडेंट हैं बिहार के. मुझे ये बताइए कि ये जो 6 इस्लामिक स्टेट टेररिस्ट हैं, है ना, जो भारत से गए सीरिया 2017 में, ये सबके लिंक PFI के साथ क्यों थे?
2017 में गए हैं और 1947 में
क्यों गए? नहीं, मैं आपको, मेरे सवाल का जवाब दीजिए. मेरे को सवाल का जवाब दीजिए, घुमाने की कोशिश मत कीजिए. यू टेल मी द आंसर. आई एम आस्किंग यू. आपको मैं फिर से कह रहा हूँ, देखिए आपको मैं मौका दे रहा हूँ, आप समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. उत्तर प्रदेश की स्पेशल टास्क फोर्स ने 2 लोगों को, अनुशद बदरुद्दीन और फिरोज खान को लखनऊ में अरेस्ट किया था फरवरी 2021 में बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट प्लांट करने के लिए. उनके PFI लिंक्स क्यों थे?
कोई PFI लिंक नहीं थे.
नहीं, कौन नहीं, जो थे वो थे. आप कोई नहीं थे कहने से कुछ होने वाला नहीं है. वो थे.
नहीं, वो इल्जाम लगाना अलग बात है.
नहीं, वो हर चीज को आप इल्जाम कह सकते हैं.
नहीं,
you can't deny everything.
लगाना अलग बात है.
This is ridiculous, Kapil. This way you'll deny everything. No. This.
So, Arnab, let me
Yes, Kapil. What's your Yes, Kapil. What's your point?
स्वतंत्र तरीके से अपनी बात को रखता है तो वो दोपहर को जेल भेज दिया जाता है. और अगर वही
Arnab, I will make 2 quick points here. I would first like to respond to Tuhin. He, made a remark about the Congress party and terror. I would like to remind him, recently in Rajasthan and in Jaipur, the sitting office bearers of BJP have found to have links with Pakistan-based terror activities. And I would request you to have a little bipartisan approach here and question Tuhin Sina and BJP. What relationship do they have with the terrorist organization in Pakistan? Why were their people, were your sitting and incumbent office bearers both in the Punjab and in the Jammu and Kashmir?
Why?
That is point number 1. No, that is you.
I bring you to point number 1. I bring you to point number 1. I bring you to point number 1.
Let me make my point number 2.
No. I'm stopping you at point number 1, and I'm making my point to you. And my point to you, Kapil, is that a secular nation, in my view, should really allow me. A secular nation should really fight to preserve its values and ethics, and we should not resign ourselves to our fate. And here we have is proof of a conspiracy by some people. I'm not all. to say we will have an Islamic nation in this country in 2047. Why is that not causing you any concern?
How are you?
Why is that not causing you any concern?
How are you changing the subject of the debate?
The subject of the debate is that Umesh Kole was stabbed to death. The subject of the debate is that Kanhaiya Lal was beheaded. And the subject of the debate is that communally charged Kanpur rioters, there was an attempt to shield them from prosecution in the garb of rights. That is the subject of the debate.
Why are you not questioning? Is it not a fact that their own sitting bearer...
Sushil Pandit is on the debate. Sushil Pandit is on the debate and you're in denial. This is really worrying. I don't know how we can become ostriches at this point of time. I think in any other country with these facts coming out, they would have been really concerned. Sushil.
I completely agree with you, Arnab, and that's why I have a different take on this issue. In November 2015, the then Home Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh, said to rest of India that our taaleem and our family values will prevent Indian Muslims from joining ISIS. In 2016, he said there are no Indians in ISIS. In 2017, he repeated the same. And he was telling us that in India, there is no radicalization. And in 2021, December, would you know, NIA says we have in all 1,166 cases registered against ISIS activists. And you just said that there are 6 of them who went to fight for ISIS with links with PFI. We are in perpetual denial. Every time we face evidence, we shut our eyes. Our problem is T.J. Joseph, the professor in Kerala, his hand was chopped in 2010. In 2015, 13 PFI activists were convicted and jailed. And PFI is not banned yet. 3 years back, PFI was a conduit for funds to Shaheen Bagh, illegitimate funds, and PFI is not banned yet. PFI rushed one of its activists in the garb of a journalist to Hathras to foment trouble. He was jailed, but PFI is not banned yet. City after city, riot after riot, we find PFI hand, and PFI is not banned yet. Who's responsible for it?
I'd like to answer.
The stuff that you found in Bihar is kid stuff compared to what evidence we have about PFI and ISIS.
So simple.
Atik!
So therefore, it is the Indian state.
I can't hear Atik.
It is the Indian government. It is our criminal justice system. It is our political decision making.
Atik Bhai, allow me to answer that. Thank you, Atik Bhai. The fact of the matter, Arnab, Sushil Pandit ji, as a matter of fact, is asking the right question, but you are asking the wrong side. Respected sir, 8 years in power. All right, allow me to respond, Sushil.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
Arnab, allow me to respond. Sir, you are asking the absolutely right questions. How many more professors' hands must be cut? How many more bombing incidents? And how many more people from here joining the ISIS? Sir, you are on the wrong side. Please get on this side and ask the question to those in power. From the Bharatiya Janata Party, 8 years down the line, Arnab, 2014, they are in power, 2019. Why haven't they banned the BJP? Why haven't you banned the PFI? My good friend, Tuhin Sinha, you know, I have had so many debates with him and so many others from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Arnab, you are testimony to the fact that time and again they are in power. My friend Tuhin comes on debate shows, promises that it will be banned. But sir, is your government, are you complacent? Are you lazy?
No.
Itni susti hai aap mein. 8 saal you are in power. Why haven't you banned the PFI? How many more innocent lives do you want to be lost, sir? How many more poor innocent people need to be dead? Also, as a matter of fact, Tuhin, 10 seconds I conclude, my friend. The fact of the matter, can you today on Republic TV, on Arnab's most watched debate show, can you promise me today and take this challenge that on the next debate you come on Republic, you will come with a date saying, yes, we will ban the PFI. It is high time, my friend, that you do your job. It's time for you to do your job. Enough of jumlebazi. We are no more at Jumla GD.
Can I answer you? This is what they are doing. This is how they are serious towards this current situation of the country. The Chief Home Minister of Karnataka, government of BJP.
Let me answer that, please. Let me answer that, please. I have heard your questions. मैं आपका सवाल सुन चुका हूं. Now allow me 60 seconds. Arnab, in 2001 it was a BJP government which had banned SIMI. What happened after that? A significant number of members of SIMI surreptitiously regrouped as PFI. So whether a universal ban would be the best solution is something which security experts would be in the best position to answer. But our performance speaks for itself. Between 2006 and 2008, India had the worst terror activities, worst terror blasts. In the last 8 years, we have shielded the country from nefarious designs of the terrorists. Number two, you know, this Tariq Kab Bataoge club, which my friend from Bangalore represents, please understand the UAPA Amendment Act of 2019 was a major move to offset offset terror activities, where an individual not belonging to any terror organization can also be tried for terror charges, and that is one of the major things which has thwarted the terror designs of individual members aligned to PFI.
No, I think
now, whether
I think 1 minute. Tuhin, I need to intervene here. No, 1 minute. Tuhin, allow me a moment.
I have an important point to counter Tuhin.
No. 1 minute. Tuhin, allow me a moment right now. And I need to speak to you. Just 1 minute, please. Just 1 minute, Sushil. 1 minute. I need to just respond to what Tuhin said there. Tuhin, don't mind, but I think that you are sounding very defensive. Now, you didn't talk like this when overnight you went and scrapped 370 and 35A. And I don't understand. Every single day, first of all, BJP chief ministers and BJP governments say there is a mountain of legally admissible evidence on the basis of which they have been writing to you and pleading to you that please ban the PFI. We have the plots where PFI is fueling ISIS cadres. PFI is chopping hands. PFI is trying to create a private army. PFI is trying to radicalize. And there are these code-called vision documents in which the PFI is doing everything possible to create an ideology that is completely against the secular ethos of this country. And you are coming and telling me that merely by banning PFI, nothing much will be achieved? Well, let's start. No, ban it and let's talk after that.
I didn't say
No, but you are not saying anything either. You're not. Today, allow me to complete. Today, allow me to complete, please. No, 1 minute, Atik, don't get excited. Today, if there is a threat to the secular fabric of this country, it is the PFI. And if this government is clear in intent about saving the secular ethos of this country, it should have banned the PFI a long time back, instead of giving reasons why it cannot be done.
Arnab, this BJP government is complacent. They will not ban the PFI because the PFI helps them to beat the Congress.
Never said it cannot be done.
Into the vote bank of
merely
Congress.
saying
Tuhin is clarifying.
You know, till the time the PFI is not banned, I have merely said that till the time the PFI is not banned, it is not as if we don't have the apparatus in place to thwart these terror activities, which we have successfully done. I highlighted a particular amendment bill of 2019, which has been very effective in doing that. But you pointed out the abrogation of Article 370 and 35. Article 370.
No, I go.
A particular state. When it's a pan-India repercussions, I'm sure
to beat the Congress when it comes to elections. They know the PFI eats into the Congress vote bank.
The problem being that today, Mr. Rashadi said, Rashmi, going to her on the debate, she hasn't spoken yet. Mr. Rashadi said that 2047 will be secular, 30-47 will be secular, 40-47 will be secular. I agree with you. I hope that we will be not just secular, that we will be truly secular. And truly secular means there will be no appeasement. Truly secular means there will be no minority appeasement. Truly secular means there will be, truly secular means that people who think about beheadings will be locked up for the rest of their life. Now I want to check whether you are truly secular. Mister, I want to check whether you are truly secular. Now tell me, there is a Hindu youth called Deepak. He puts out social media posts. He's beaten up by 20 to 30 people. Are these people who beat him up truly secular?
No. They're not secular. They are everything that what, the PFI ideology is preaching right now. And I am actually impressed by the ability of some of our panelists to lie with a straight face. We have gentlemen here denying ties which are proved, be it the SDPI with the PFI, be it, these people who put out, with whom the documents were found, they were members of the PFI. And, it's so easy for the PFI to just deny that, we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it is just the ability to lie with the straight face. That is the most dangerous thing. And, we are just busy here trying to call them out.
No, they are,
whilst, they carry on with
totally
these
correct.
activities.
No, Rashmi, you're totally correct. They are very, they think they are very smart. And they think that they can just come on television से हमारे PFI के साथ कोई लिंक नहीं है. ये डॉक्यूमेंट जिसमें PFI का नाम हजारों बार लिया जा रहा है, ये एक्चुअली PFI के साथ कोई लीगल लिंक नहीं है. और he is saying it clearly. And he thinks that he'll get away with it. Yeah.
This is the mentality. Instead of introspecting.
आपको शमीम जी और कुछ नहीं तो अगर आप झूठ बोल रहे हैं टेलीविजन पर, इसमें तो आपको शर्म आनी चाहिए ना कि आप आज जो SDPI PFI की पॉलिटिकल विंग है, चंद महीनों पहले तक पूरी ऑफिशियल तौर से हुआ करती थी, क्योंकि आपको लग रहा है PFI का बैन हो सकता है, आप पर कोई प्रॉब्लम्स हो सकते हैं, इसलिए आप टीवी पे आके अपने ही ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को डिसोन कर रहे हैं. ये कौन सा लार्जर पर्पस है जिसको बचाने के लिए आप अपने ही आइडेंटिटी को कंसील कर रहे हैं?
Ask him one question. Why did Taslim Rahmani resign from SDPI? Please ask him. Taslim Rahmani was the president of SDPI. After 6 months, he resigned, and he said that it is over controlled by PFI. I could not take it anymore. So if this is the condition, why don't they? Will they tell me why Taslim Rahmani left? Of famous Gyanvapi insults, who actually created all the renting and all the problem today. So don't try to get away, because in Kerala, your people have killed RSS people, SDPI people have been arrested, PFI people have been arrested.
Question is Shamim accused. I get that. He's responding to you. Ratan Sharda is responding to you. He is responding to you. He is responding to you, sir. Thank you. Let him respond to you. Yeah.
Actually, ये SDPI पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है. लाइफ लॉन्ग एग्रीमेंट किसी के साथ नहीं होता है. कांग्रेस के लोग बड़े बड़े लीडरान बीजेपी में जा रहे हैं, बीजेपी के लोग किसी भी पार्टी में जा रहे हैं. यहाँ पे किसी का लाइफ टाइम एग्रीमेंट नहीं होता.
नहीं. मनीष बरियार इज लिसनिंग ऑन. तो तुइन एंड मनीषा लिसनिंग. तुइन एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है. एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है. आपको पता है कि प्रॉब्लम्स होने वाले हैं. PFI को आप डिसोसिएट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं.
बिल्कुल नहीं. आपने सुना कि अभी सुधीर चौधरी ने जिन्होंने छोड़ के आज तक ज्वाइन कर लिया. शमीम भाई भी कहीं भी जा सकता है. ये नहीं.
That these Islamists have infiltrated the political arena.
के लिए मेरा एक ही सुझाव है.
He has agreed now.
रतन शारदा, counter from the BJP तो इनसे ना
सुनने के बजाय देखिए, शमीम भाई के लिए मेरा एक ही सुझाव है कि ड्रॉ योर इंस्पिरेशन फ्रॉम द राइट सोर्सेज इंस्टेड ऑफ लिसनिंग टू तस्लीम रहमानी. ट्राई टू लिसन टू आरिफ मोहम्मद खान. कल भी मैं उनकी एक भाषण सुन रहा था दिल्ली में. आप जो कह रहे हैं ना कि 1 मिनट मैं अपनी बात कंप्लीट कर लूं. आप जो कह रहे हैं कि 2025 में हिंदू राष्ट्र बनेगा, कभी उनकी बातों को सुनिए. कल्चर इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम रिलीजन. जब अगर आप अपने कल्चरल आइडेंटिटी को स्वीकार नहीं करेंगे तो आप यही भ्रम में रहेंगे और आप जो है तस्लीम रहमानी के इशारों पर नाचेंगे. तो कम से कम इस भ्रम से बाहर निकलिए और अपनी कल्चरल आइडेंटिटी को स्वीकार करिए इस देश की।
चलिए now one minute. Let me read out one more part, please. Now, whether or not I'd like to bring in Atikur Rahman and Kapil Madan on the right, and I'd like to bring in Manish Bariyar and Rashmi Samant on Sushil Pandit and Rashmi Samant on the left. And my limited point is this, viewers. Now, whether or not this is a legally stamped PFI document or not, I want to talk about the mindset that it reveals. Just 1 minute, I want to read out. In its list on actionable points, it says establishment of grievances, which means we have to establish grievances. And they are saying we have come a long way forward on this task. Fortunately, the rising Hindutva forces, RSS and their puppet government at the center are giving us enough issues to foment grievances of our brothers and make them believe that the RSS-controlled union government is hell-bent to suppress Islam in the country. Look at the thinking. And it goes on to say the deficit of trust between the government and the Muslim community has also become wide. Muslim community should always be reminded about the atrocities perpetrated on them during the demolition of Babri Masjid, communal riots, lynching of Muslims. There must be concerted efforts by all state units to make Muslims believe that the RSS-led government was planning to declare India Hindu Rashtra and drive Muslims out of the country. Now, viewers, just think, do you find a lot of people trying to do that in daily politics, and is that not true? Which means basically try and make Muslims feel marginalized. The CA controversy, the whole Shaheen Bagh episode, this is what it was about. Wasn't it, Sushil? This is what it was about. Establish grievances.
Arnab.
Yeah, isolate polarized Muslims. Yes, it was.
Arnab,
it was.
I just heard you say that it might not happen that by 2047 or 3047 or 4047, through your channel, I would like to remind your viewers and my countrymen, whoever thought that in this day and age, a nuclear power country with 1.5 million strong army, 800 strong parliament, an elected prime minister, a series of courts from Supreme Court to High Courts to Session Courts to magistrates, Kashmir Valley will be emptied out and Hindus would be expelled, lock, stock and barrel, violently through a jihad. Did anyone expect it? Well, it happened.
It happened.
It happened as you saw it, as I saw it, as the entire country then of 90 crores, 900 million watched helplessly happen. So it is not improbable. Please don't comfort people with these false assurances. Enemy is at work and we are in denial.
The whole state of Jammu and Kashmir is still
Enemy is at work and we are in denial.
Secularism looms large on India.
Rubbish.
The Jammu and Kashmir is the crown of Indian secularism.
There is no secularism.
Crown of Indian secularism. You are the communal forces. You want to support that.
Rashmi is on the debate, Rashmi.
It's a place where Hindu genocide happened.
This is the crown of
that cannot, if that is your standard of secularism, then I'm seriously scared.
Always the crown of Indian secularism. You cannot
seriously, if you think that is the standard of Indian secularism, then I'm scared about what you think of Indian secularism to be. And if you're truly complicit with the kind of documents which are coming out.
Okay, here's one question.
Jammu and Kashmir.
In the part about external help. Now, whether or not this is a legally verified, stamped and signed PFI document, we're trying to correlate facts with what one can just say is open source intelligence. And it says, in the scenario of a full-fledged showdown with the state, because these people are actually saying one point of time, Ratan Sharda, there will be a full-fledged showdown with the state. In the scenario of a full-fledged showdown with the state, apart from relying on our trained cadre, we would seek help from friendly Islamic countries. And goes on to say, in the last few years, PFI has developed a friendly relationship with Turkey. a flag bearer of Islam.
Arnab, this is
Before Ratan Sharda, one line.
Let me respond.
One line. I have no. Before you respond, my question, Rashadi.
I will respond.
My question, Rashadi. My question is this: is it true or not that the PFI and its affiliate organizations have really tried, worked hard, its leaders have traveled and tried to build a very close relationship with Turkey, a country which geostrategically and otherwise is always opposed to the sovereign interests of India? Question being, why would you go to a country that is against your own country and try to develop a friendly relationship with them? Can you give a very specific answer to this, please, if you don't mind, Mr. Rashadi?
I'd like to answer that.
Arnab, I don't have any specific answer to this because I'm not. PFI would either answer it or the investigating authorities would answer about its authenticity. My question here is that the BJP MLA from Balia from UP openly says that India would be a Hindu Raj by 2024.
No, my question is why would any organization that is in India want to establish a relationship with Turkey?
On video.
And are you oppressing anybody who is
I'd like to answer that.
Why would you question that? Why do you have this selective outrage? The panelists,
Rashmi Samant is on the debate responding one at a time, please. Rashmi.
BJP should answer this.
Rashmi and Mr. Baria.
Speaks about developing a larger Islamic identity which is beyond India. So definitely these organizations are looking at finding allyship among other Islamic countries which are aligned against that of India's interests. Let me remind you, there are 50 odd Islamic countries of which more than 75% are non-democratic right now. They don't have democracy. And that is exactly what this, booklet is speaking about. So if they want to execute something
I would continue. When Republic was launched, and to this day, Mr. Rashadi, 1 minute. When Mr. Rashadi, 1 minute. When Mr. Rashadi, 1 minute. Mr. Rashadi, 1 minute. When Republic was launched, and to this day, Mr. Bariyar, we always say nation first. That's our motto. Nation first, no compromise. Now, somewhere in this document, it says, and I quote, simultaneously, we have to establish an Islamic identity among everyone, beyond the concept of being an Indian. Which means being Indian is not important or less important than your religious identity.
Arnab, be it 2047.
No, I
will answer that.
No. This is.
Allow me, please.
Question being.
Can I complete?
If you allow me, Arnab.
Can I complete?
Now, yes, Mr. Bariyar wants to come in. Mr. Bariyar.
Arnab, allow me.
Yeah, so I went through this entire 8-page document. It is a pretty damning document. There is no doubt over it. Apart from what you were saying, additionally, it talks about PFI and every house strategy and recruitment and training of members, training in explosives. So it's a pretty damning document if it is true. And therefore, even the point of Turkey you were talking about, we all know Turkey is very close to Pakistan. And obviously, people who want to foment trouble, they would get help from countries which are not friendly to our country. So it's not surprising, and therefore, as many of the panelists, my co-panelists have been talking about, it's time that PFI should be banned, right? And the question should be raised on that why it is not being banned, ASAP, and that is my point.
No, I agree, but why?
It turns out that in every part of the country, PFI in some way or the other is fomenting trouble. And this is not a recent phenomenon. This is something which has been going on for years and years. And I think you have done
now
so
there
many
are
debates on PFI
and I have
now,
a picture right now.
even
I want to put a
links
picture on the
with a lot of
screen which has been used as part of our coverage earlier. Just take a quick look at this. These are people associated with the PFI, the SDPI president going to Turkey and having meetings with people from the very suspicious organization called IHH. Now my question is, please tell me, Atikur Rahman, why would Indians go and seek help in Turkey, financial help? Why would they seek help, and why would Turkey, people in Turkey help these organizations? Is that against our national interest, Mr. Atikur?
Which Indian Muslim believes Turkey to be the flag bearer of Islam? Nobody believes in it.
But Turkey believes. I'm sorry, but Turkey believes. Turkey believes it's the flag bearer of Islam. Turkey wants to only establish a caliphate.
It's the flag bearer.
Yes, so
the secular Islam
Turkey
of
and
India
India
is the flag bearer of Islam.
Ratan Chadha.
Mentality, same group of people. The community has not changed. Its Maulanas have not changed. What happened in Mallapuram?
Indian Muslims
have been tried at national level. And those who compare Hindu Rashtra and Islamic.
It is not important what Turkey believes. It is important what the Indian Muslim believes. And as a responsible Indian Muslim, Arnab, I truly believe that 2047 or 30 or till infinity, India was, will and shall remain a sovereign, social, secular republic, and that it shall remain, Arnab. And for those radicalized elements, I truly believe they need to be banned. The Bharatiya Janata Party needs to stop the complacency and the dirty political mindset of allowing the PFI to eat into the vote bank of Congress. That is the precise reason why PFI is being kept alive. 8 years in power. This shows the reluctance of the Bharatiya Janata Party to ban the PFI. Today I challenge you to Insana, can you take up on your party and say, yes, we will ban the PFI within the next July 31st.
At least I must congratulate Atikur and my other friend that at least for the first time they have started condemning PFI, and maybe the credit to some extent goes to you, Arnab. Without drawing a false equivalence with RSS, let me repeat and reiterate this, that PFI, we had banned Simi at one point of time, and whenever the ban on PFI happens, it will be done by a BJP government. It can never be done by a Congress government, but till such time, you rest assured that the country is being adequately protected. You rest assured that there will be no terror attack unlike the UPA era. That is a minimum, that is the assurance which I can give.
This channel and I, we believe in true secularism, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely true secularism. And for some people, unfortunately, it's no longer about true secularism. Some people are thinking about extremism, about radicalization, about religious dominance, and all of this is terrible. Hindu phobia is a reality. Let's accept the truth. Let's challenge the enemies. And ladies and gentlemen, see you tomorrow, sharp at 9. Till then, good night and goodbye.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 9 years, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Cricketer Jasprit Bumrah regains #1 spot in ICC men's ODI bowler rankings following his career best spell in England, which helped the men in blue crush England by 10 wickets in the first ODI. Olympic medalist PV Sindhu makes winning start to Singapore Open 2022 campaign, defeating her Belgian opponent in the first round of the women's singles. Playing on court 1, PV Sindhu won the match in 2 straight games. Germany confirms Women's Euro 2022 quarterfinals berth, beating Spain in Group B game at the Brentford Community Stadium. The Germans have topped the Group B table following this win. And more news from across the world, with the Chinese government escalating its efforts to tide over a dip in its economic growth. China's new loans for the first half of 2022 allegedly grew to a new record high. The Chinese economy has taken a hit for many reasons, the strict lockdowns chief among them. China claims its foreign trade grew by 9.4% in the first half of 2022 compared to the same period the previous year. Chinese General Administration of Customs says exports grew by 13.2%, imports by 4.8%, though with a massive base effect. US President Joe Biden begins three-day visit to Israel. He will also meet Palestinian officials in the occupied West Bank. It is Biden's 10th visit to the country. His first was in 1973, when he was a first-term US Senator from Delaware. He's met every Israeli Prime Minister since.
More trouble to Alt News co-founder Mohammad Zubair as a court in Hathras in Uttar Pradesh remanded him to judicial custody for 14 days. Zubair was produced at the court in Hathras, and after the hearing, the court sent him to judicial custody till July 27.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 9 years, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, mass comm, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Reading allows us to become familiar with ourselves.
We don't read, we won't know what is knowledge. I just find it very interesting to know people's lives, how they went through certain situations, how they dealt with things.
So wherever you want to go in life, if you read books along those lines, then that would really help you in growing.
Reading could mean a million different things to every individual. What does it mean to you? Visit readindia.info to find out more.
In the 9th to 12th placings match of the FIH Hockey Women's World Cup, Spain and the Netherlands on Wednesday at Estadio Olympic de Tarrasa, Spain, Indian women's squad defeated Japan 3-1. India overtakes Pakistan to reach the third position in ICC ODI team rankings following their thumping 10-wicket win over England in the first ODI at Kennington. Earlier, India were placed 4th